you guys all together? It's LA, you gotta ask. This is how I find out that everyone I know is in one big polycule without me. Yeah. 2 years ago, I wrote a solo show called The Shit Show, where I was gonna do stand-up as a piece of poop. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm just gonna do regular stand-up if that's okay. That's okay. My career is going good. And I know that because sometimes people say I look like Sandra Bullock. I mean, I don't know, maybe I look like Sandra Bullock if after she filmed the movie Miss Congeniality, she became afraid of her own success, started working in restaurants and smoking weed. Then yeah, I totally look like Sandra Bullock. I am in therapy. Thanks, but don't tell my mom. She won't get it. She'll be like, Caitlin, don't be sad. Having a therapist is sort of like having a coach that never goes to the game. Every week he's like, so, how was the game? I'm like, the game was bad and weird. He's like, perfect. I'll see you next week. Therapy is expensive, and so is medical grade kidney disease cat food. And if I wasn't buying those two things all the time, I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be on a rooftop in West Hollywood wearing a diamond tiara and ordering another round of lobster martinis for everyone. Because that's what I think rich people do. Being broke and living in a big city sucks. One time I went to the movies and I bought a drink. You know, they give you a cup. I brought that cup back to AMC 22 times. It was more affordable for me to buy a trench coat for a baby and sneak that sucker in than to be normal. Everyone at the movie theater knew what I was doing, but the situation was just too sad to police. By the 22nd use of that cup, it was just a sheet of paper that was like, kill me. Oh, I'm having a bit of a gap year. Yeah, it's been over a year since I had a good job, and they don't like that. They don't like that on a resume. No, they want a thick stack of good jobs dating back until the day you were born. And even then, they're like, where did you intern? When you're in an interview, they love to ask about that gap in your resume. But I wonder, would they ask Odysseus about the gap in his resume? Odysseus just gets back from doing the whole Odyssey, and he's interviewing for a survival job at Starbucks. And the person conducting the interview is 22 years old with a shaved head, but a full set of bangs. And they're like, it looks like you have a gap on your resume. He's like, yeah, but I'm Odysseus. They're like, okay, but is being Odysseus going to affect your availability? Because if so, we have plenty of other college graduates to choose from. If you didn't laugh at that joke, it's because you can't read. I just saw the Charlie Sheen documentary. And I must be like a really big empath or something, because when I watched that documentary, Caitlin left the building. I was like, I'm Charlie Sheen. This is my life, and boy, has it been crazy. did the same thing for the Michael Jordan doc. I watched all 35 episodes of Saved by the Last Dance. And by the end, I was like, wow, I really am the greatest basketball player of all time. Me, Michael Jordan. But what does it all mean now if I just sit alone in my mansion and drink hard liquor until my eyeballs are yellow? Got him. Oh my God, they don't tell you how good the water tastes on stage. Does anybody here have a dog? Must be nice. But I want to bring everyone in. Do we all know what a dog is? Okay. Dog owners in LA are nuts. They'll be like, he doesn't bite. I'm like, he's biting me. They're like, oh, well, he's a rescue. I'm like, I need to be rescued. The dog bites on my leg are bleeding. They're like, well, ordinarily he's really nice. I'm like, that dog just grew a human hand and is flipping me off. Oh, and now he has a gun. Ladies, it's a red flag if his dog is too well trained. It means he's good at mind control. How do you know? How can you tell? Well, when you go to his house, there needs to be piss and shit everywhere. Otherwise, run! Because if he can do commands at a creature that doesn't even know English, you're next. He'll be like, and you'll be like, which is how I think dogs have sex. I miss getting stimulus checks. I know a lot of bad things happened over COVID for a lot of people, and I'm very sorry for that, but nothing bad happened to me, and I loved it. I was collecting unemployment from 2 different restaurant jobs. At one point, I called my mom and told her I was rich. That was when I had $4,000 in my bank account. I can tell some of you think $4,000 means you're rich. They have more than that, honey. Yeah. They have a little more than that. I was the welfare queen, though. I'd buy my expensive groceries at Erewhon. I'd be like, keep the change, with my food stamps. They're like, your card got declined. You owe us $50. I was like, stay safe! I'd pull up to Chipotle, throw my keys to the valet, be like, park it anywhere. He's like, I don't work here. I'm like, stay safe! I drive an old car, so I can't plug my phone in to listen to music. I listen to the radio a lot. And I'm always hearing this song by Ja Rule. It's the one where it's like, what would I be without my baby? You know that song? The thought alone, you know that song? Break me, you know that song? I hear that song so much, I feel like I'm having deja rule. There's like a red target on my body. Last year, I went to the worst place that you can be broke in LA, the Magic Castle. I went with a couple of my girlies, and we were all broke. The Magic Castle is expensive. You're spending money all night. You have to pay to valet the car. You have to pay to get in. You have to buy dinner. You have to buy drinks or the shows aren't good. The Magic Castle is the only room in LA where there's 300 white guys over 50 and no one will buy you a drink. It's not because they know better. It's because they don't know. But yeah, we're spending money all night. And at one point I looked over at my friend and I saw that she had OD'd. Overdrafted. I had to hold her hair while she texted her dad to put more money in her bank account. Is anyone else getting calls from these random numbers in LA? What's going on with that? Why is this happening? Because I'm applying for a lot of jobs, so I keep thinking it's a job. And I answer. It'll be 9 a.m. I haven't really talked to anybody yet. I'll see a random phone number and I, pick up. I put on my most hireable voice. I go, hello! I realize that's a little off-putting. I shift down in a second. I go, hello! They don't answer when you answer. It's weird, but I'm trying, okay? I go for the most hireable voice I can think of. Frasier. Hello. Thank you so much for calling. I would love to discuss the opportunity to work for your company making $1 an hour. Teaching AI to be a bitch. That was my Frasier. I met my boyfriend on Field. You guys know the app Field? It's the choking one. Whenever you go to meet up with someone in real life, when you meet them on Field, you don't go for the handshake. You just go straight for the throat. Everyone on Field is Darth Vader. They're like, interested in being your father. I live with my boyfriend now, but before that, I was sleeping on a twin mattress in the closet on the floor of my studio apartment. It was under 3 flights of stairs, so at the age of 33, I actually Harry Pottered my own ass. It sucked living in that closet. Every morning I'd wake up and hit my head. Bah! Oh! I got a scar. My aunt and uncle were there. They were like, you're a freak. You'll never go to wizard school. No, please. Hagrid had to intervene. He was like, you're a wizard, Harry. I was like, my name's not Harry. He was like, you have a lot of hair. Oh, so you laughed at the Harry Potter joke, but not the Odyssey joke. Cancel this polycule. Whoever's in charge. In 2019, I submitted to be a naked body on Westworld for $800. I remember submitting and then being worried. I was like, oh no. When they pick me, this could be really bad for my career. My first television performance, naked, on HBO at 26. This was HBO in 2019. I would have paid them $800 just to be naked somewhere in the building. In like a kitchenette or a corridor, just, I'm ready! They didn't pick me though. Whoever was doing casting that day must have thought that I was too adorkable to do nudity. Like what, so I'm a Chicago 8, but a Westworld 4. I saw the scene later. It was a warehouse full of naked actors, like hundreds of naked actors just standing there like this. Is HBO here right now? Max, in the back. Thank you so much for coming. You didn't think I could stand there without making a quirky headshot smile? Okay, well, joke's on you, because Westworld sucked after season 2, and I keep getting more beautifuler. Speaking of beauty, is anyone else getting pimples as adults? I get so mad when I see these suckers popping up. But there's been a development in the pimple world. It's that little patch, you know? Mm-hmm. It's not perfect, but it does serve as a tiny stop sign. It says to the viewer, stop! I know I have a pimple! But that doesn't mean you have to see it! And they're cute, you know, they look like stickers now. It'll be like a Hello Kitty face or a bright green star. I don't see guys taking advantage of the pimple patch, though. I was at a party and a guy walked in. He was like, I've got a pimple. Who wants to suck my dick? Confident. Costco, yes or no? Yes. Costco people, yes or no? No. Costco people. It's like they have a disease. They are infected with deals. And they have to talk about the deals. It's the opposite of Fight Club. They have to talk about them. Like, what's a deal someone got at Costco recently? Don't fuck me right now.
Large jar of olives for $8.
You're sick. You just can't stop talking about it, can you? I'm actually the worst kind of Costco person because I'm too broke to even have a membership. Instead of get in loser, we're going shopping, I'll call my friends with Costco memberships and say, hey, I'm a loser. Can you come and pick me up and take me shopping at Costco? Being frugal is not a good look. I'm allowed to say that because I've been frugal all my life. Like, look at this. I'm gonna return this shirt. This shirt was $12 and I'm gonna return it. Someone told me they liked my shoes and I said, I got them for $23. Originally they were $85. What was that reaction? I didn't hear them complimenting my shoes. I heard them complimenting the lizard in my brain that's good at survival. They said, hey, nice shoes, and the lizard said, I am cunning when it comes to finding deals. The lizard in my brain is like a business tycoon. He realized, like, he can just grow tails, and he was like, I'll open a tail store. He's like, I'll cut this one off, and I'll grow another one, and I'll cut that one off, and I'll grow another one, and I'll sell tails, and I'll go on Shark Tank. Sharks have tails, so they love them. They have them, so they love them. He's like hacking his tail off with a plastic knife. It's not sexy! But rich people are no good. You're gonna need some Costco people at the end of the world. Can't you like smell like this unrest in the air? It's real pre-mosh pit energy. Everyone's just kind of like activated and they're just ready for something. I don't know. And if you're not rich, you might find yourself out in the street looking for resources, okay? You'll be like battling like a radioactive Waymo, okay? There's gonna be like Oppenheimer shit going on in the background. And yeah, there's no more Bob and Grandmas. Oh, sorry, LA. At the end of the world, we're gonna have to learn how to eat different bread. But then you'll remember the Costco person in your network. And that's going to be such a sweet moment during World War III when we all sit down and have a little bulk snack together. Can't wait. Can't wait. Right now, the history books say that we are in AD. After my brain thinks of dissection. After dissection, obviously it's not that. Like, like Jesus died for the second time and his friends were like, we think he's really gone. And then the first scientist is like, let's cut him open and see. A lot of things have happened since Christ has been around, okay? I don't think 9/11 should be on the same timeline as Jesus. Like, we could afford to break it up a little. We could have more timelines. Like, there was the Black Plague. BP. Someone invented the phone. IP. Then there was Obama. POCP. Then Grimes messed up her DJ set at Coachella. GMUH DJ set at Coachella. What I'm saying is we need a new one. We need a new one. I propose we use OT for overtime. Because our time as humans is like basically over. It's just sort of this last squabble of like, which work from home job is gonna make it to space? AI, everyone's talking about AI. AI, it's the new Google. AI, it's replacing artistic jobs. It's replacing restaurant artist jobs. It's everywhere. But there's one thing that AI will never do better than people, and that's go to prison. AI will never go to prison better than people. Yeah, I'd like to see AI try and shank someone for crack, okay? It just doesn't have the same motivations. A few robots in the audience tonight. You guys like impressions? Of what? Of what? So this whole time you were hoping I'd do William Shatner. You were like, yeah, but what if she... Little improv for you. In 2016, I campaigned for Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I know. I got on a bus full of improvisers from Chicago. Woo! And we went to Iowa, and we went to Ohio. Just a bus full of improvisers going into middle America to talk with unregistered voters about their right to vote and why they should use it the way we wanted them to. I was good at improv. Once we got off the bus, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Can't we just pretend? Pretend to knock on the doors, but no. No. We went to their homes. Imagine owning a home. And then improvisers show up wearing flannel shirts and holding their dirty reusable water bottles. We're like, hey, the lady Bill Clinton cheated on is running for president. Guys inside like, who is it, dear? Is it those fucking Mormons again? The wife's like, no, worse! It's improvisers! We're out in the yard doing zip zap zop, but it's like Hillary Clinton themed. We're like, I'm with her! I don't want to say we helped anyone win the election, but we shouldn't have gone to their homes. Bad things happen when strangers go to homes. There's entire scary movies about it. Sometimes the stranger kills everyone inside. Sometimes they elect a president. And hey, those people didn't even hate women before we got there, so. Being political is so annoying! Remember everyone was like, talk to your family! If they're voting for him, you need to talk to them! So I talk to my family. But my family lives in Texas, but still, I talk to my family. And in doing so, I am no longer a part of my family. Call your senator! Remember, call your senator! I called my senator. I wasn't really good at it. But still, I called. I put on my most professional phone voice. I went, hello! Yeah, everyone's still freaked out about the whole bathrooms thing. I have an idea. How about everyone just go to the bathroom at home? Okay? Problem solved. Oh, but what if I'm out for a long time and I can't hold it? Don't be out for a long time. Oh, but what if it's an emergency? Don't have emergencies! These are good ideas! I should work for somewhere! I'm being underutilized! I've told you a lot of sad things about myself tonight, but I'm gonna tell you just one more. And it's that I was training to be a clown. You might ask yourself, what is clown? Is it learning to juggle or making balloon animals? No! Those skills would be marketable. No. Doing clown is basically, it's about being vulnerable on stage. You don't have to be funny. Maybe it shouldn't be funny, actually. It's about being honest. But the main difference between improv and clown is that in improv, you hold the phone like this. And in clown, you hold the phone like this. So why? Why did you get sucked up into the clown scene, Caitlin? There was just something so captivating about the brave white people doing divisive theater in strip malls across Hollywood. I didn't hang out in the clown scene very long, just like long enough to realize that if I kept going down that path, I was about to become like completely inaccessible. Yeah, I have like a little too much like self-awareness and shame to have that be my only thing. But you either have to be really rich or really dumb to get sucked into the clown scene. And buddy, I ain't rich. But I was once. When I was getting stimulus checks. And that's when I thought it would be funny if for my 30th birthday I used all the money Donald Trump gave me and I went to clown school in France. Clown school in France was horrifying. I went to go study with this old French troll. His nickname is the Tormentor. And he's famous for being cruel, withholding, and not thinking women are funny. which as a girl who grew up without a father is kind of like a triple threat. Every day at clown school, we had to wear these crazy outfits. We would wear these unitards, and we'd stuff them with pillows, and we'd have to black out our eyes and black out our teeth, and they would tape our legs together, and we'd have to hop around and sing Christmas carols. At one point, I was like, are we allowed to be doing this? I don't even know who we'd be making fun of, but this doesn't feel very woke. One day my teacher stopped my freaky clown performance and he asked, "Do you have a boyfriend?" I said, "Yeah!" Yeah! He said, "One day, your boyfriend will kill you." And I would understand. That was my acting note. That my clown performance was so bad that it wouldn't be surprising if one day I were to be murdered by someone that I trusted. There were 40 people in my class, and 39 of them thought this was world-class theater training. And then there was me, like, afraid for my life. But everyone else was like, yeah, it's totally worth it. My acting has really improved since I've begun taking abuse from this ancient old man. One day after class, I hit my limit. And I went to the only place I knew no one from school would see me cry, an empty church. I sat there and wept, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And then I had this epiphany. I was like, damn, if my dad had never left, I wouldn't have come all the way to France to seek approval from this fucking guy. I could have gotten negative affirmation at home for free. And then I'd be rich. And if I was rich, I wouldn't even be here right now. I'm gonna whip some! Let's ride one way at a time, it's now! Ordering another round of lobster martinis for everyone. Thank you so much! Can't say how much this means to me, and thank you to the Lyric and everyone who put up with me during this process.
You get sprung. Wanna pull up top, you know
Makes me so horny. 2 years ago, I wrote a show called The Shit Show, where I was gonna do stand-up as a piece of poop. My career's going really good. Sometimes people say I look like Sandra Bullock. Okay, bye.